Good day everyone. So for today's video, I will discuss and explain to you the game rules of softball part 3. Rule number 9. Dead ball or ball in play. The ball is dead and not in play in the following circumstances. When the ball is batted illegally, that is A, and B, when the batter steps from one box to another when the pitcher is taking the signal or appears to be taking the signal from the pitcher's plate or steps on the pitching plate. When no pitch is declared, that is the C, and the D, when a pitch ball touches any part of the batter's person or clothing, whether the ball is struck at or not. E, when a foul fly ball is not cuffed. F, when the offensive team causes interference. The ball is in play. The ball is in play in the following circumstances. A, at the start of the game and each half inning, when the pitcher has the ball while standing in his pitching position and the plate umpire has called play ball. B, when the infield fly rule is enforced. C, when a thrown ball goes past a fielder and remains in playable territory. D, when a fair ball strikes an umpire or runner on fair ground after. Delayed dead ball. There are 5 situations when a violation of the rule occurs. An umpire recognizes it, and the ball remains live until the conclusion of the play. The situations are an illegal pitch, catcher's obstruction, for FP only, plate umpire interference, obstruction, and detached equipment contacting a thrown ball, a pitch ball, or a fair batted ball. That is the 5 situations when a violation of the rule occurs. Rule number 10. Umpires. Power and duties. The umpires are the representatives of the leg or organization by which they have been assigned to a particular game, as such are authorized and required to enforce each section of these rules. They have the power to order a player, coach, captain, or manager to do or omit to do any act which in their judgment is necessary to give force and effect to one or all of these rules and to inflict penalties as herein prescribed. General information for umpires. A, the umpire shall not be a member of either team. Example, player, coach, manager, officer, or scorer or sponsor. B, the umpire should be sure of the date, time, place, and place for the game and should arrive at the playing field 20 to 30 minutes ahead of time. Start the game on time and leave the field when the game is over. C, the male and female umpire must wear 1. A powder blue long or short sleeve shirt. 2. Dark navy blue socks. 3. Dark navy blue slacks. 4. Dark navy blue cap with white and blue trim IFF letters on the front. 5. Dark navy blue ball bag for plate only. 6. Dark navy blue jacket and or sweater. 7. Black shoes and belt. 8. A white t-shirt worn under the powder blue shirt. 8. Ayun na pala yung 8. Then, D. Umpires must not wear exposed jewelry that may pose a hazard. Exception: medical alert, bracelets, and or necklaces. The plate umpire. A. The plate umpire shall take a position in back of the catcher. He shall have full charge of and be responsible for the proper conduct of the game. The plate umpire also shall call all balls and strikes. C. Shall, by agreement and in cooperation with the base umpire, call plays, hit balls, fair or foul, legal or illegal cuff balls. The base umpire. A. Shall take such position on the playing field as required in accordance with the relevant umpire systems. B. Shall assist the plate umpire in every way to enforce the rules of the game. Responsibilities of a single umpire. If only one umpire is assigned, his duties and jurisdiction shall extend to all points. The umpire's starting position for each pitch shall be from behind home plate. Change of umpires. Umpires cannot be changed during a game by the consent of the opposing teams unless an umpire is capacitated by injury or illness. Umpire's judgment. There shall be no appeal from any decisions of any umpire on the grounds that he was not correct in his conclusion as to whether a batted ball was fair or foul, a runner safe or out, a pitch ball, a strike or ball, or any play involving accuracy of judgment. Signal. A. To indicate that play shall begin or be resumed, the umpire shall call play ball. Play ball. And at the same time, motion the pitcher to deliver the ball. B. A strike shall be indicated by raising the right hand upward, indicating the number of strikes by the fingers, and at the same time calling strike in a clear and decisive voice. C. To indicate a ball, no arm signal is used. D. To indicate the total count of balls and strikes, the balls are called first. E. To indicate a foul, the umpire shall call foul ball, and extend an arm horizontally away from the diamond according to the direction of the ball. F. To indicate a fair ball, the umpire shall extend an arm toward the center of the diamond using a pumping motion. To indicate a batter or runner out, the umpire shall raise the right hand upward above the right shoulder with fist closed. H. To indicate that a player is safe, the umpire shall extend both arms horizontally to the side of the body with palms toward the ground. I. To indicate suspensions of play, the umpire shall call time, and at the same time extend both arms above the head, and other umpires shall immediately acknowledge the suspensions of play with similar action. J. To indicate a delayed dead ball, the umpire shall extend left arm horizontally with closed fist. To indicate a trap ball, the umpire shall extend both arms horizontally to the side of the body with palms towards the ground. Suspensions of play. A. An umpire may suspend play when his judgment conditions justify such action. B. Play shall be suspended whenever the plate umpire leaves his position to brush the plate or to perform other duties not directly connected with the calling of plays. C. The umpire shall suspend play whenever a batter or pitcher steps out of position for a legitimate reason. D. An umpire shall not call time after pitcher has started the wind-up. E. An umpire shall not call time while any play is in progress. F. In case of injury, except in the umpire's judgment with the serious injury which may put the player in danger, time shall not be called until all plays in progress has been completed or runners have been held at their base. Rule number 11, protest. Protests that will not be received. Protests shall not be received or considered if they are based solely on a decision involving the accuracy of judgment on the part of an umpire or if the team lodging the protest won the game. Protests that will be received. Protests that shall be received and considered including matters of the following types. A. Misinterpretation of a playing rule. B. Failure of an umpire to apply the correct rule to a given situation. C. Failure to impose the correct penalty for a given violation. Note: Number 1 protest for the above must be made before the next pitch or before all infielders have left fair territory or if on the last play of the game before the umpires leave the playing field. Protests involving judgment and interpretation of rules. Protests may involve both a matter of judgment and the interpretations of a rule. Notification of intent to lodge protest. The notification of intent to protest must be made immediately before the next pitch. Exception: player and eligibility. The time to lodge an official protest. The official written protest must be filed within a reasonable time. A. In the absence of a league or tournament rule fixing the time limit for filing a protest should be considered if filed within a reasonable time, depending upon the nature of the case and the difficulty for obtaining the information on which to base the protest. B. Within 48 hours after the scheduled time of the contest is generally considered a reasonable time. Information required for written protest. The formal written protest should contain the following information. A. The date, time, and place of the game. B. The names of the umpires and scorers. C. The rule and section of the official rules or local rules under which the protest is made. D. The decision and conditions surrounding the making of the decision. E. All essential facts involved in the matter protest. Involved in the matter protested or protest. Result of the protest or protest. The decision made on a protest or on a protested game must result in one of the following. A. The protest is found invalid and the game score stands as played. Rule number 12. Scoring. The official scorer shall keep records of each game as outlined in the following rules. B. Shall have the sole authority to make all decisions involving the judgment. For example, it is the scorer's responsibility to determine whether a batter's advance to first base is the result of a hit or an error. However, a scorer shall not make a decision which conflicts with the official playing rules or with an umpire's decision. The box score. A. Each player's name and the position or positions to be played shall be listed in the order in which he batted or would have batted, unless the player is legally substituted, ejected, or removed from the game, or the game ends before his turn at bat. Base hits shall not be recorded. A base hit shall not be scored in the following cases. A. When a runner is forced out by a batted ball or would have been forced out except for a fielding error. B. When a player fielding a batted ball retires a preceding runner with ordinary effort. C. When a fielder fails in an attempt to retire a preceding runner and in the scorer's judgment, the batter runner could have been retired at first base. Pitcher credited with a win. A pitcher shall be credited with a win in the following situations. A. When he is the starting pitcher and has pitched at least 4 innings and his team was not only in the lead when he is replaced but remains in the lead for the remainder of the game. B. When a game is ended after 5 innings of play and the starting pitcher has pitched at least 3 innings and his team scores more runs than the other team when the game is terminated. Pitcher charged with a loss. A pitcher should be charged with a loss regardless of the number of innings he has pitched if he replaced when his team is behind in the score and his team thereafter fails to tie the score or gain the lead. Game summary. The summary shall list the following items in this order. A. The score by innings and the final score. B. The runs batted in and by whom hit. C. 2 base hits and by whom hit. D. 3 base hits and by whom hit. E. Home runs and by whom hit. F. Sacrifice flies and by whom hit. G. Double plays and players participating in them. H. Triple plays and players participating in them. I. Number of walks given by each pitcher. J. Number of batters struck out by each pitcher. K. Number of hits and runs allowed by each pitcher. L. The name of the winning pitcher. M. The name of the losing pitcher. N. The time of the game. O. The names of the umpires and scores. P. Stolen bases and by whom. That is for FP only. Sacrifices bunts. That is for FP only also. The names of batters hit by a pitch ball and the pitcher whom hit them. That is also for FP. The number of wild pitches made by each pitcher. That is only for FP. The number of pass balls made by each catcher, and that is also for FP. Stolen bases for FP only. Stolen bases are credited to a runner whenever he advances one base unaided by a hit, a put out, an error, a forced out, a fielder's choice, a pass ball, a wild pitch, or an illegal pitch. A. This includes a batter runner advancing to a second on an awarded base on balls. Records of forfeited games. All records of a forfeited game shall be included in the official records except that of a pitcher's won-loss record. That's all po. Thank you. Sorry po sa mga error or sa mga words na mali na nasabi ko. Pero at least po, tinry ko rin po yung best ko na maulit. That's all po. Thank you. Thank you.